Uh, I suddenly realised some of you might not know what I mean. I mean, you can have a streaming cold in English. No, and that means your nose is running and your eyes are running. If you've got a streaming cold, they might think, "Oh dear, she's got a runny nose."
When you said streaming here, I remember this that someone in UK got a message SMS from me. Stop streaming. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I remember. I still don't know who that was. You better tell Zom and Shiny. Thank you, Zom. Zom's just 111 does. Yay.
111.
I love seeing 111. Yeah, tell Zom and Shiny what happened there. That was so funny.
No, it's not funny for me. Anyway, streaming. Let's go back to streaming. Yeah, no. I said that remind me that I sent a message to someone. Say, stop streaming. Oh. Okay, let's go back to streaming. What happened to streaming? I thought it was Lynn.
Yeah, it's also my embarrassment because I forgot to stop the streaming during a session, and that meant it just carried on, and it was just streaming my computer, just my normal computer screen. Yeah, it was just my screen. It was nothing happening, but I think it streamed for over an hour. So Aladdin very kindly kept trying to contact me using different ways. Eventually he thought he'd found a phone number and he sent a text message to the phone number, but it wasn't my phone number. It was somebody in the UK. So if somebody from the UK once got a message going, stop streaming, doesn't know this is where it came from. That did make me laugh. It actually made me feel better about my own personal boo-boo of streaming my screen for an hour. Do you know somebody watched the whole hour?
I think I
shows you
how
much attention people pay. I love it. Okay, so let me have a look at what we're going to do. Okay, I've got my stuff today. So yes, no, I don't stream on. He doesn't stream on my mobile phone. He sent a text message to tell, or thought he sent me a text message to tell me. I don't know where he got the number from, but wherever it was, it's a load of rubbish. Okay, so as Aladdin quite rightly said, we're going to talk about streaming today. And yes, stream is a verb. It's not just a little river. A stream ran through the property, or a stream ran through the meadow. Very nice. But this one is the verb stream, and it's got more than one meaning. In the UK, we actually stream children, you know. Did you know that, Aladdin? If you go to a UK school, British school, you can get streamed.
Streamed?
Yeah.
How's that happened?
Well, they decide how clever you are. And this happened when I was at school. Some schools do it now, some schools don't. But these new academies have started doing it again. And the idea is they say, oh, you're clever. You can go into the clever classroom with the clever children. Oh, you're stupid. You can go into the stupid classroom with the stupid children. They don't use the word stupid, but that's what it means.
It's divisions for...
Yeah, different levels of ability. So if you're really bad at math, you might be sent to the remedial math class. And if you're very good at math, you'll be sent to going to sit your A+ O-levels class. And it means that, you know, the kids who aren't
not good
getting... But the thing is, it doesn't mean you're not good at math if you don't get it. Everybody's capable of doing math. It depends how it's presented to you and how you learn it. And I know this because I thought for many years I was very bad at math till I went to college, and then the teacher at the college, or the lecturer at the college, was so good at explaining it. Yeah. I just got it. It was like, oh, it's like a little puzzle, you know.
Definitely right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not a fan of streaming, because when you do it on an industrial scale, as schools have to, they've got thousands of students. When you do it on an industrial scale, it doesn't work. But anyhow, that's what would happen to you in a UK school. You'd be streamed. But today we're going to talk about the transmission and receiving of data. So Zom has written that to her, streamings is sound and images flowing in front of me. That sounds nice. I presume you mean on your computer screen, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just like stream of consciousness. Okay, so streaming children. Yes, Shiny. Streaming children, I'm afraid to say. I'm not a fan, but I stream everything on LEN now. Yeah. We're going to talk about the streaming I do and I do like, and that is when you transmit and receive data. And that's especially video and audio material now on the internet. And it's a steady, continuous flow. Okay. So yeah, guess which one we're going to talk about? That one. Now, another question to everybody. Have you experienced streaming? So have you actually experienced streaming? I know your answer, Aladdin.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Shiny, yes, good. Zom's keeping quiet on that one. I'm not sure. Should I answer yes or no? What am I committing to? But the answer probably is yes. Oh, don't understand the question. Shiny, could you explain to Zom? No. Have you participated in a streaming broadcast or something streaming on the internet? No, Shiny, not at school, on the internet. Forget the streaming children. I was streamed too, by the way, down I was. And that was in math at school. But as I say, I have discovered since they were wrong. I just needed a better teacher. Okay, so probably you have experienced streaming. Okay, now you're in the room now, so you can hear me, but it is actually streaming into your computer. And if you were to go to YouTube now, fingers crossed, you would be able to watch this, not interact as well as you can in the room, but you'd be able to watch this streaming live. Okay. And if you've listened to music or watched any video on your computer without actually downloading it, I know lots of people download stuff onto their computer to watch. That's not streaming, that's downloading, and you've got the file on your computer. But if you've watched a video or listened to music without downloading the file, then you're streaming. Okay? Because with streamed media, there's no file to download, just the data. Okay, and
it's live on YouTube now.
Yeah, and other things as well. It's it's video and audio. They often say on demand. Okay, so Netflix, Amazon Music, Spotify, yeah, lots of other companies are streaming content over the internet like magic. It's like ooh, but it's in some ways we've experienced streaming media for years. We've watched television, we've listened to radio, and where's it come from? It's magic. You're kind of used to that. You don't, and it's similar. It's happening on the internet and coming into your home via fiber cable, or if you're unlucky, copper. How on YouTube? Well, that's streaming on demand. Again, when you click on a video to watch it on YouTube, you don't get a copy of that video unless you're naughty and download it illegally. But you just play it when you want it to. Go to their servers, it plays onto your machine. And that means it's streaming the data from YouTube, Google servers over your connection to your machine. And that's where it plays. You don't have to download. Imagine if you had to download every YouTube video you've ever watched. Your hard drive would probably be overflowing by now. Zom's got a question. Zom, can I come to that question in a bit? Okay, because it might be answered during this presentation, during this session. It is more like a presentation, isn't it? Okay. Now, it's not always on demand. Okay. Sometimes online radio stations, for example, they've been on the internet for, I think, the longest time. And if you think about English radio, it streams music 24/7. Okay. Music and news roundup and jingles and everything else we do, these sessions sometimes. And that's done by the software, not by a human being, really. The human being puts everything together, clicks a button, and away it goes, which means that Aladdin, Perfluith, Zom and I don't have to sit spinning records all day. I mean, that's what DJs used to do. They used to sit in a booth with records, putting them on the turntable, taking them off, putting CDs into the machine, taking them out. Quite often these things are now pre-recorded and they stream seamlessly. Okay. And that's called sort of streaming, but we do a different kind of streaming. Right now, we're doing a different kind of streaming, which is live streaming. Okay, which is what you've just said. How do I know that something is streaming live on the LEN YouTube channel? Okay, this, although you're here and it's streaming to you, it's also streaming directly to YouTube. Okay. And that's called live streaming, sometimes called webcasts or webcasting. Okay, you might see these terms as well if you want to do a little bit of a Google. Webcasting, you'll find webcasting software, webcasts all over the internet now. Everybody's doing it. And that's it. Everybody can do it. Pretty much anyone can live stream nowadays. If you look at our calendar, okay, you'll see the platform for a session is Webinar Jam. So if you then join us, you will be part of a live stream. Now, as an attendee, so Zom and Shiny, at the moment, you don't actually have to worry about streaming. Okay, I'll explain why in a minute. The organisers, the presenters, so at the moment, Aladdin and I are doing that job. So you can attend a session and listen and text to us, ask questions without worrying about the platform you're using or, within limits, how much bandwidth you have available. But if you join us in the voice call, you will then start streaming as well. Okay. And that's where the hardware and connection requirements are an issue. So if you've watched a live stream or if you've streamed video and you have a download speed that's a little slow, you might know the word to buffer. To buffer. You might have seen this, and you might have heard the verb to lag. The horrible words, buffering and lagging. Aladdin, buffering and lagging. Is that an issue for you ever?
Yeah, indeed. That's what every single. So, lagging here, if you go directly to this link I put it here, it's live streaming our session now on YouTube. You will find a little bit lagging between what we are talking here and what streaming now live on YouTube. But I think there is no lagging here between chatting and between speaking. This issue is not longer exists, right? It was before.
There was a huge lag before, huge when it first started. But remember, Webinar Jam is always going to be a work in progress. They do a lot of development. There's still a little bit of lag, actually, about 6 seconds, but it's much better than 30. Now, there's no lag at all when you're in the room. So, guys, Zom and Shiny in the attending in the chat. When Aladdin and I speak, we get instant communication. We hear each other instantly. You hear us about 6 seconds later, which is important if you're going to give a presentation, to understand that if you say to somebody, if you ask somebody, oh, what did you mean by that? They're not being rude if they don't answer you straight away. They haven't heard the question yet. And that's why if you're going to do a presentation like this, putting the question into the chat window, text chat, is a little bit better, a little bit fairer, because people will see that in the chat straight away. Okay. Okay, so Shiny's also asked a question. Again, if you wait, I'll answer all your questions at the end of the presentation. And I'll invite you in to talk to us as well, if I haven't already answered it. Okay. I've actually done some preparation of this, you know. Okay, so when you're watching or consuming a stream, your download speed matters. It really does. And that's when you might suffer lag, and that's when you might suffer buffering. Okay. When you actually watching a live stream or when you're streaming a video, you're receiving files that have been actually what they call encoded for streaming. So they compress them, squash them as much together to reduce the load. And they're highly compressed so that they use as little bandwidth as possible. If they try to stream normal files without doing this, the internet would grind to a halt, to be honest. Okay. There's also a buffer that's already been streamed and it buffers onto your computer. Now that means if there's any congestion, instead of everything dropping out or the screen going blank, the computer continues showing the buffered data until it catches up. However, if there's no more data in the buffer, the stream will stop and you might see a message buffering or that little symbol that spins. I call it noodling. It's like a little spinning wheel on the screen. It's horrible because you think, oh, I was enjoying that. And it noodles away while it catches up. And that's why there's actually this, there will always be a 6-second delay when you're streaming, because real life streaming is not possible at the moment. So that's why there's still that 6-second delay here between from what we say and what attendees hear. Actually, Aladdin, you said there's no lag or buffering between this. There's about 6 seconds. And having spoken to the Webinar Jam development team, if you want to know why, do go and ask them because it was very technical, but it will always be there. Okay, so now lagging Kitely is something else. There's very little lag in the Webinar Jam as an attendee. Okay, I've found that most attendees will get the screen sharing and they will get the whole audio very clearly and with very little dropout, if any. Okay, you've got to be on a really ropey system to not be, even on a phone, even on a tablet. Okay, but there is a difference between being an attendee and listening and just text chatting to coming in and doing. You actually become a presenter when you join us in the call. Okay, so to watch a streaming video or to listen to online radio and audio streams on any device, you need a good download speed. And that's just measuring how fast the data from the internet can enter your network, come into your house or onto your phone. But to live stream, your broadband connection has to be stable enough and fast enough to share data in real time. So to stream anything to other people, you need, yes, a good download speed. You also need good streaming service. That's what Webinar Jam is doing at the moment. You need the good software, okay, and a good upload speed. And that upload speed, I think, is why some people are having issues joining us in the call. Not everybody. We've got some people sorted. But when people first join, and they get a bad experience when they ask to join the call, it's down to their upload speed. The fact is, if you don't have enough bandwidth when you're streaming live, nothing will happen. No video, no audio, nothing. And a big issue is most internet connections have upload speeds that are a tiny fraction of their download speed. So it doesn't matter if you have super fast broadband with a fantastic download speed if your upload speed is too slow for live streaming. Okay, and that's where I think we've had to do quite a bit of tweaking. I know I have. I don't know about Aladdin. I had to tweak my upload speeds. 4 to 1. Yeah. Well, In some ways, I can understand it. Your internet service provider, your ISP, people demanded fast download speed. They want to watch video. They want to listen to stuff. But with gaming, with the proliferation of streaming providers like YouTube, like Twitch. If you're a gamer, you've probably heard of twitch.tv. People are starting to demand better upload speeds. So really the internet service providers have to catch up with the demand from customers, and customers have to kind of understand what they're trying to do, what they're asking the network to do. I didn't fully understand when I started doing this, you know. So what can you do? Well, you can test your speed. Okay. Test it online. Don't rely on looking at your bill and what you pay for, because they lie. They use the word up to. Yeah, biggest lie in history, up to. So there's no guarantee that the top speed you're paying for, the top speed they advertise, is what you're getting. It's very dependent on where you live, what the connection from the outside world into your house is. Is it fiber, optic fiber? You lucky thing. Is it copper wire? It's not too bad. It works. Is it something else? I don't know. Drums, maybe. But you can check. I use speedtest.net, but you can just Google speed test. Okay. If you just go into Google and Google speed test, it will do what they say, send packages and ping your computer, and it will measure how long it takes the ping to reach your computer and bounce back to them. Okay. Make sure you go to a reliable one. There are some speed tests out there that might try and put something nasty on your computer. Okay. Now you might be thinking, and I have had people saying this to me, we don't have to worry about this in Skype. This doesn't happen in Skype. I can use Skype. But to be honest, we did. Anybody who's been to a Skype session knows that sometimes, especially in a group, you can barely hear some of the participants. You have to type 222 to say, I can't hear anything, or 2121 because they're breaking up. And if you run enough sessions, this can get very tiring. And it meant that there was no point to us recording the sessions. It was too frustrating. It would be horrible to listen to. Now, when we run the webinar jam session, the stream is captured and shared to our YouTube channel. Okay. We're even streaming some Kitely sessions. For example, Monday's reading session, Wednesday's Let's Talk About It session, and Friday's ESL vocabulary session. They all stream live from Kitely, not through Webinar Jam. We use a piece of software called OBS, which is, I think it stands for Online Broadcasting Software. It's free. It's open source. So it works. It's lovely. I was talking to Zom about it yesterday. And then, and it goes directly to YouTube. Again, we couldn't have done that when we first started in 1999, but we could have recorded the things onto our computers and then uploaded them to YouTube. But the experience, I don't think, was smooth enough or good enough to do that. We do stream and record Tuesday's Back to Basics session in Webinar Jam, and we do record and stream Thursday's Speakeasy session in Kitely, but you have to watch them live. The recordings are only actually available to the participants, and only if they ask. So why are we streaming? What are the benefits? What are the benefits of streaming? Shiny. There are several reasons that we decided to start doing it. One, it allows people in different time zones to participate. Okay, not participate live, but to feel involved, if you like. Okay, it allows people with lower bandwidth to get involved. So people who cannot get into Kitely, people who cannot join live sessions as participants, can still get involved by coming and listening and texting, or by watching the YouTube video, or by watching the live stream. Okay, so even with low bandwidth, you can get involved. It means we have a record of the sessions. Imagine if we'd been started doing this in 1999.
And they will not say, they will not ask us, what are you doing on the session? Because it exists on YouTube. You can
Exactly.
watch.
We can just say,
We
well,
are
they will
told what
ask.
we are doing. They
That's
will
it.
ask, but
But we can
instead
just send them
of
there.
trying to explain, you will send them the link. Here is what we are doing.
Exactly. Because
Enjoy.
a lot of people say, what do you do? What's it about? It's like, well, it's not a lesson. And that's another thing. Just showing people it's not, okay, there's a lesson on Thursday now. And the Tuesday session, back to basics, is a bit lessony. But the rest of the sessions are very much, what did somebody call them the other day? Organic. Probably meant not well structured, especially Thursday night session. I mean, that was crazy last night. So that it is nice, we've got a record. It reminds me of what I've promised last week as well. Sometimes at the end of a session, I'll say, "Oh, we'll carry this on next week." Next week comes, I've done another 10 sessions in between. I've forgotten what were we meant to do. Did I write it down? Now I just go to YouTube now and watch the last 5 minutes. Participants, and every session that streams and records correctly, you can ask, even if it's been made private, you can ask, if you were a participant, you can ask to have access to it. So participants can also review what they did in a session. And I'll tell you one person who does this. It'd be interesting to see if she watches this, April. Because I do corrections on the Monday reading session, pronunciation corrections. She actually listens to make sure I heard what I said I heard, or that she said what I said she said. And I tell you what, I have to be very careful not to correct something incorrectly, not to mishear something, because she'll catch me out every time. And it's nice. You can review what we did in a session, and it demystifies what we do. Okay, that's exactly what Aladdin just said. What do you do? It demystifies it. People can watch the session and then they can decide if they want to join us next time. Now, there is another reason, which isn't so noble and self-sacrifice. It allows advertising on YouTube as well. So we might even make some revenue to let us do more, because there's so much more we could do. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Shiny, is that clear about the benefits of streaming?
I know. I know. Shiny was afraid of streaming her voice on YouTube. Maybe is that right, Shiny? She always get involved, and Webinar Jam is now it's offered these things. You can be part of this streaming of these sessions without get involved with voice. So you can hear us and you can attend this room without no one will ask you directly to speak. It's different from Hangouts. Because
That's
you
true.
are
I'm
inside.
I'm going to add that to my list of benefits. It allows shy people to allow people to just get to know us a bit before they speak to us. There's something, what is it about speaking that's so scary? But yes, that is very true. It allows people who may not want to start speaking on the internet to get maybe the courage to do so. Because I think initially our reactions to, I didn't want to do this initially. If somebody had asked me to do this in 1999, it was bad enough going online and speaking to people I'd never met. I've kind of got used to it now. It's just people, they're just people. But I was, I don't know if I want to, I can't even see them. I don't know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if they're not really listening. That's up to them. You have to let go of a bit of control doing this online. It's not like being in a classroom where you can tie people to the chair. No, I never did that when I was teaching in real life. I didn't do that. But you do have to be a little bit more relaxed about everything when you're doing stuff online. But yeah, it allows people who are a little bit shy still get involved. Yeah, he might be shy or self-conscious. Sometimes it's not shyness; it's actually self-consciousness and not wanting to be seen to make mistakes. And still get involved, okay, without feeling they're being judged, etc. And hopefully, as I say, I always try to annoy people enough so that they'll want to get involved. Now, the streaming side, this is something you guys can do. If you were to set up your own sessions, Google Hangouts, Skype even, if you look at YouTube, you'll see that I streamed a Skype session. I had to tweak things as I was doing it. It was the first time I'd ever tried to stream Skype. I keep wanting to say to scream Skype. It's like a tongue twister. To stream Skype, then you can do it. Yourselves. You don't have to have me doing this. Okay. And you can check if it's possible by checking your bandwidth in real time. Okay. So you can check your speed using speedtest.net, etc. They're not paying me to boost their name, but it's just the only ones I can think of. But you can also test your speed, check your bandwidth in real time. There are online apps, software, BitMeter. There's Codebox Software's BitMeter too, and Free Meter Bandwidth Monitor. YouTube even has a video quality report, but it's not available in every country. I can't get that one to work, but you can check and see if it might be available. They're certainly going to make it available because Google have got a little bit of a thing going on with the internet service providers. They want them to stop offering up to and start offering from. There's a difference, up to and from, so that to improve the quality and to enable people to do more rather than consume more. I'm quite happy for them to do that. Now, it's been a couple of months now. And for me personally, the nice thing about streaming is that network members have choices. Okay, it's giving you choices that didn't exist before. You can still join our sessions, or you can simply watch the stream, not get too involved, just dip your toe in the water if you like. And because we record it, you can watch it in your own time as long as the recording works. The downside is, and I know there's a downside, to participate, you do have to be on a PC or laptop. You do have to have good download and upload speeds, but it is possible. Webinar Jam recommends an upload speed of more than 1 megabit per second. Okay. And if you're watching this in a few months' time, maybe, or a few years, and we're still going strong on the internet, just join a couple of sessions. Just come and get involved. Okay. So I'd like to invite Zom and Shiny to join us. If you want to join us, just put your hand up. There's just a little button that says request to speak. Aladdin, is there something you'd like to add? Is there something?
You can force them to invite to
no, I don't like to do that.
There is no choice here. Not another democracy.
Well, this is why I want to invite. So Zom's asked to join. I'll let you join Zom. You also asked a question, Zom, about how to increase your speed. Now, you can't increase your speed as in have a look at your internet service contract. Whatever speed it says is on there. That's it. Okay. You can't, well, probably can actually, but you can't legally increase your speed. However, if your contract says something and you're not getting it, contact them. Because if they're charging you for a super duper speed and it's not possible for your area to receive it, you're paying for something.
For detecting a line, it looks like it's SDSL, which mean symmetric. DSL, it's one to one, which mean if you have 8 mega download, it will be the same with uploading here, but it's cost a lot of money, and this is not exist in any home. It looks like a special for companies or some kind of.
Yeah, some people have what they call a backbone. I've never really knew I've not got, but remember, I haven't got that. I'm not well, yes, we're a company, but we're only a company to stop people trying to buy us. Okay. To stop trying to invest and make money from shares and stuff. We're a not-for-profit organization. Okay. So yes, but I am doing this from a house. Okay. I've got a nice office now. Sorted the office out, by the way, Zom, since you came. And it's much bigger and it looks nicer now. It's not as cramped as it was, but we've still only got a normal domestic bandwidth. Okay. I think ours is 50 Okay, so it's not fiber optic yet. I mean, I'm hoping we can get 100 soon, but we're just on the border. Across the road, our neighbours get 100. On our side of the road, we get 50, which is rather annoying. But it shows it's possible because I'm doing this on my computer. Aladdin is doing this on his computer. Yeah, so it is
Yeah.
possible. Zom, hi, can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Yeah, sure. I can hear you.
Yay! I can hear you. Yay!
I don't know
That's my
about the quality of the voice.
question now. Can you hear us? Can we hear you? Because both sides have to work in the call, which means, Zom, you've got
Yes.
good upload speed. Yay!
Well, it varies a lot depending on the time of the year, actually. So
Time of year?
yeah, usually in September. I don't know what they do in September, but between September October, my download and upload speeds is extremely bad. It's what I've experienced.
Bizarre. How bizarre.
It's a bit bizarre. Don't know exactly what's going on during this time, but 3 years in a row is what happened.
Does somebody visit in that time? In maybe
No.
one of the other flats around or in a house around you?
No, what happened is that last year they were installing the fiber network in this building to connect the fiber optics, and the different providers are trying to knock on the door for you to switch from one provider to another, and all the machines are on top of the building here where I am, and the big antenna as well. And I think they are playing a little bit every year. They are playing with the bandwidths of the different peoples, just for you to change the kind of contract you've got. So I suspect.
Wow, that's almost a conspiracy theory, like flat Earth.
I'm very puzzled about that because I was about to swap to fiber optic. And I say, well, but you are not going to stay necessarily here for a long time now in where you are. So don't do it necessarily. Just wait a little bit. And I don't know. I'm just monitoring what's going on with my connection.
Well, I know that sometimes it's not necessarily what's coming into your house. It's the actual box. The engineers sometimes come tweak things in the box down the end of the street or wherever it happens to be, and suddenly things improve. So sometimes things can go wrong at the terminal, and something fries, a little widget falls out. I don't know.
Not every year. I'm not September and October. Come on.
Well, no, that would be very suspicious. That's why I wondered if it might be somebody who's on holiday and visits someone and then starts sucking all the bandwidth. Maybe they're streaming.
Could be
24/7. A life blogger, you know those life vloggers.
That's it.
The whole life all day through.
I like them.
Aladdin loves them.
I'm following them on YouTube. They're amazing.
So far, so good for me when it comes to my download and upload speeds. So
good. Well, it's very clear voice as well. I mean, this is the one thing I have noticed, that when people get in, I mean, there are problems. People sometimes drop. Oscar's been having issues. I don't know why. He gets in, everything works, and then suddenly it drops. And well, there are things you can. Oscar, if you're watching this, look, you asked anyway, Zom, what did you do to artificially improve your upload speed? I can't improve the upload speed. I can just improve the way it's used. Okay, the speed is what you get. It's a bit like being given a bowl of porridge, and then you can't go like Oliver and go, more please, sir. It doesn't work like that. Well, you can, but they'll go, yes, that will be £25.50. You know, they're not gonna do it for free. But what you can do, as I say, check what your ISP is offering. Okay, you can't do anything about the cap unless you're willing to pay more, and you can't even pay more if there's nothing more available. There is a cap, okay, but check what you're getting. So do check your speed that you're getting, your download and your upload speed. And if you're not getting the speed you pay for, contact them. Okay, now you need to. It's a bit like driving a car. You can drive your own car and take it to the garage when something goes wrong, or you can drive your car and learn how to fix things. If you can learn a little bit about your computer, the software and the hardware, there are things you can do that might improve things. So one of the main things you can do for these sessions, and if you want to be a streamer, is use a hardwire connection. Okay, use a wired connection. I know Aladdin's going to say, I use Wi-Fi.
Me too.
It's never worked for me. I think it's because I've got a dog. I think Leica interferes with the Wi-Fi signal.
She's going to blame the dog, Aladdin.
A jamming signal. You use Leica as a jamming signal.
Yeah.
He does something that's not quite right with our Wi-Fi, because I have tried it. It was a disaster, really, truly a disaster. I kept dropping out, and there's no fun if you're the presenter and you keep dropping out and people have to, mind you, I think you have more fun once I've dropped out than when I'm actually in the room. And that's the nice thing about Webinar Jam. If I do drop out, it doesn't all automatically close down and everybody's left in limbo. So you can just carry on without me. But yeah, if you use a wired connection, it is more stable, and wired connections do. Yes, wired connections do have a big impact on upload speeds. Okay. It does, honestly. It's more stable as well on a wired connection.
Yes, it's stable, and it's more faster than.
It's faster, yeah. It's faster than the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi has a much stricter limit on what you can do. But I mean, there's good Wi-Fi. Don't get me wrong. I do a lot on Wi-Fi, just not these sessions. And these sessions, you can imagine me sitting at my computer. Other things, I might be tippy-tapping away in the living room on my comfy chair. Now, the other thing you can do, which sounds scary, but it's really important, again, knowing a bit about how things work, check your router settings. We tend to install routers and let them gather dust in a corner. It's true. You've had the same router since 1999. It is going to not do quite as well as a new one. They've changed a lot. So check your router. How old is it? How long have you been using it? What are the settings? Because your router bandwidth might be giving some bandwidth priority to stuff like Skype, VoIP, and that's sucking it away from your live streaming. And you can disable and enable things within your router. Read the instructions.
And there is a
when you've
channel
got your router.
Yes,
the ports as well. Absolutely, yeah. So I know people don't like reading the instructions. They're just happy when it works. But if you're finding that you're having issues with lag, with bandwidth problems, check your router settings. You might, if this is important to you and you want to do this and become a professional Twitcher, gamer, online, whatever, it might be worth just getting somebody in to help you get the initial setup as well. Okay. Another thing you can do very easily, and you should do this anyway. Okay. This is regular maintenance. Clear your temp files. Okay. Get rid of temporary files, cache, and cookies. Cookies go stale. You don't need to keep them forever in the cookie jar. And you can do it manually, or you can get professional tools which do it for you. But be careful which tools you choose online, because some of them are a bit dodgy. Yeah.
Don't get involved with any tools.
Well,
I prefer manually.
I prefer manually. Absolutely.
You can ask as well your brother to empty the cache.
And you can ask your brother, yes. It's like getting him to take the rubbish out, isn't it?
Exactly.
So ask a friendly friend. I mean, I clear my cache every day now, and I've had far fewer problems than I was when we first started doing this. The other thing you must do, and this is again regular maintenance, malware check. You've got no malware. Viruses, pieces of malware, spyware, they will affect your upload speed drastically and your download speed. Make sure you've got good antivirus software installed, and make sure it's working properly, and you've updated. You have to update your virus software regularly. You can do it automatically, or you have to do it manually, and make sure they've got what they call the most regular virus files.
There is also the fact that the systems, the tools we install, usually they read statistic. They read the data on your computer to make some statistics. And if you can disable some of them, it improves a lot, because there are some applications, some operating systems that are really reading a lot of your activities on the net and browsing your activity as well at the same time. So if you can,
and not necessarily malware,
no,
stuff
no,
you've installed, genuine stuff. Yeah,
yeah. So it's important to get to know a little bit what's going on with your computer, because there are a lot of behind the scene that's going on that is taking a lot of your bandwidth. That's true.
That's right. And you can do that really easily. You can see what's going on in your computer real time by going to Task Manager. Just go to your Task Manager, see what's using up your resources, and you can switch some things off. Don't switch off your virus. Make sure you get a good antivirus that isn't too greedy, that doesn't sort of like do everything at once, that does it like at night time, that kind of thing, when you're not using it, or daytime if you're that kind of person. You're not using it. And also, if you're using online services, if you're using something like Dropbox or Cloud Thingy, you can pause the synchronization. Okay, so that it's not constantly looking. Have you got a new file? Have you got a new file? Have you got a new file?
I'm hungry.
You have to switch it off. You can just pause it. So you can do that. That helps. And if you're doing any kind of, if you've got things that are, what do you call it? OneDrive as well, I think it is. NVIDIA, some of your hardware will be checking for updates.
Yep.
You can stop them doing, because again, they're going, is there an update? Is there an update? Is there an update?
Well, you should check what kind of program starts automatically as you start your computer as well, because we forget about that. And
I get hubby to do that.
So you've got your brother.
Yeah, I do. He went to me once. He went, why have you got this switched on? I said, what? You went, this. I went, why? What does it do? Bloatware is something you can look out for. Not malware, bloatware. Stuff that's been installed when you wanted something that was offered on the internet. Again, not maliciously, but it piles into your computer and it just fattens everything up that you're doing every day. Just more and more resources being used. And half of it you don't need. You really don't. So the other thing that you can do, and you should do regularly, is update your device drivers. Okay, these are little programs that get your, like things like your sound card and your video card, and they change. Okay, now if you've got it to automatic update again, you're kind of using resources. Is there an update? Is there an update? Is there an update? So it's worth, especially for your main hardware, check your device drivers. Okay, get the latest drivers for any hardware you've got, because outdated drivers can really slow down and lead to slower update speeds.
I'm thinking, Aladdin, that be ready next Monday, because if people are watching this this streaming video, they are all going to end up in Ask Aladdin.
Funny you should say that, because I'm actually going to make things worse in a minute. The last thing I would say is you can update your DNS settings. Now, DNS is domain name server. Okay, now there are ways. If you're in a country where it's really bad, now it might be blocked. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about governments blocking things. But if you're in an area where you've really got bad bandwidth and there's not a lot you can do about it, you can change the DNS manually. There are also online tools, but Aladdin will probably say, no, don't use them.
Don't get involved with those tools.
Kind of look for the fastest web servers. And it can actually take you all around the world. Google offer it, Google DNS, and there's something called Open DNS, and I've used both in the past.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What Google DNS and what the other one?
Open DNS.
Open DNS, all right.
And Google DNS. Okay. And again, you can really, especially if you end up in a place where, oh, God, this is terrible, it's so slow. Yeah, just do a bit of mooching around the internet. There's nothing illegal doing it. There's nothing dodgy about it. There's nothing, they're there and they know that people are going to try to use them. Google's very keen on improving the internet for everybody. It's in their best interest.
Okay. The thing is that we are a little bit wary doing that, because we don't really know what it does to the computer. And then when we make a change or something, and something doesn't behave as it used to be, we tend to think that it's what the modification, the update we did, and we don't know exactly what we did actually. So
okay, that's why I'm now
You
going
can
to say.
return them.
Hang on. This is what I'm now
Automatically,
going
yeah.
to say. If you're interested in this stuff and you're kind of thinking, I don't know how to do that. I'd love to do that, but I don't know how. On Monday, Aladdin runs a session called Ask Aladdin. And he actually knows a lot more about this stuff than me. I've
And they
learned
will
this
lost
stuff
their
through doing.
connection while.
Or there's a section on the forum called Technology and Games where Aladdin regularly looks to see if there's any issues and any questions. And he's very good at answering these things, much better than me. I've done this stuff, so I've learned through doing. Okay. And I've only learned through doing because I've had the same kind of problems. Zeb, you know, Zom, you know, I've had the same kind of problems, dropping calls. And I think you'd have to agree that things are smoother than when I first started doing this.
Yeah. You don't have anymore the need to be jealous of my connection in the past.
I used to ask, when someone was going to be in a call, I used to ask her to start the call because her connection was so much better than mine.
That's true. It's not true any longer.
Okay, so it's not so much artificially improving the upload speed. It's just tweaking what you've got, making the most of what you've got. Okay?
It's very important. It's
is.
very, very important. And
you work with what you've got.
And you get to know a little bit more about the tool you are using. And it will help you in the future as well because it's going to...
Yes, it's like learning how to change the oil in your car without having to take it to the garage. Because, if you can't change the oil in your car, you have to go to the garage every time. It's annoying. You probably will put it off again and again and again until you really need to do it and have it done. Then you have to pay someone to do it. So it's worth learning these things for yourself, really.
And you are very happy afterwards and you say, oh, okay, that's just that.
Yeah. Well, the first time I ever changed my own hard drive, I was as proud as a peacock.
Exactly. And it's a good feeling.
It is. Okay. Just have a look at some of these. Questions. Okay. How do I know that something is streaming live on the LEN YouTube channel? Okay. We're changing the YouTube channel a little bit. We're tweaking it a bit so that I will be able to provide a permanent link for all our streams. Okay. Now, don't quote me on that because I haven't done it yet. I've been working quite hard, behind the scenes.
April, I hope you are listening.
So, what I am going to do, and this is something I wanted to discuss with my co-presenter here, Aladdin, is I think now we know kind of what we're doing in Webinar Jam.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. Totally.
Okay. Yes, I agree. Good. Then what I'm thinking of doing is adding, because at the moment I think we've got all our sessions down pat. They've each got their own Webinar Jam. And until such time as Webinar Jam changes something, which they will do, each link to join a session or to register for a session remains the same. So what I'm considering doing, and scream at me if you think it's a terrible idea, is adding those links to register into the... Do you know what word I'm going to say next? Adding the links to register into the...
We are bad in this.
Calendar.
Oh.
So at the moment,
how are we supposed to know this?
well, at the moment, because every time I go, what word am I going to say? It's calendar.
It's calendar.
Okay. The reason behind this is at the moment to register, you have to go to either a specific page on the website, or you have to go to the particular Join Us group or the English radio group. Okay, which means that only people who are members can register. Okay, now a lot of people do want to just see what we're doing. Okay, doesn't mean we have to invite them to talk with us. Okay, but it means they can come and they can interact, they can listen. And then we can get to know them. We can encourage them to get more involved, because a couple of times for sessions recently, I've had people saying, just actually not saying anything, just putting their hand up, requesting to speak. They haven't even said hello in the group chat. They're not going to get into talk to me, okay? But if I recognise their name, or if they introduce themselves and say, I'm so-and-so from the forum, then I go, have you got your clothes on? Yes? Okay, come and join us.
Well, is it important to have any clothes on?
Yeah, it's
it
important.
is if you put your webcam on, yes.
to know exactly what are you doing, because it's that's things that we have on Google Hangout before. So when we starting sessions on community, people came and they don't know what we are doing or what we are offering. I'm not sure if they get in a right room or just click on the link to join. I'm not sure what happened for them. They came and they disappeared. They didn't. Sometimes they said,
did you get ones where they came and their video was on and they kept peering into the video and they were obviously doing something else, and you could see their hands and their face and their hair, and I go, you don't need to have your video on. We don't use webcams, and they didn't know where they were or what we were doing. It was bizarre, and that's one reason.
It's not bizarre. It's not bizarre. It's when you are curious and there is a door and it looks open and you push the door. That's all.
Yeah, but you say something, don't you? Go, hello.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
or your camera is on and it's live streaming, and they will act like, oh, we don't want to see it. If some people don't want to record their voices, what about the photos, or what about streaming videos for them live?
yeah,
I don't get
it myself. And the good news is we don't care about the video. I mean, I've had a couple of people join and had their webcam on. I can switch it off. I mean, I can't switch it on in Webinar Jam, but I can switch it off, and I do, because to me, it's about voice. It's not about seeing each other. One day, maybe before I retire, perhaps I might do a live web stream, and you'll find out I'm not a bot. I am a real person. But I just don't. I think the whole idea of streaming somebody just sitting in a chair. I mean, what's the point?
Yes, I don't see that point.
It's not very exciting, is it? Oh, and here's me sitting in a chair. Next week, what would it be? Oh, me sitting in a chair. That said, actually, Aladdin, this was so cool. You might want to watch last week's Webinar Jam recording from the Webinar Jam people. Somebody came and they said, can I show you what I've set up? And they went, yeah, okay. Have you got any clothes on? And he came in and he'd got this green screen behind him. That he could swap. It was all virtual, so it was like a virtual green screen thing.
I know.
And he was able to go underwater, like he was like fishes and sharks swimming behind him. And then he was up on the top of a New York skyscraper. I thought, well, now that might make me live with because it was so cool.
There is another advantage of video, though, without all this stuff, is that because I do language exchange. I interact with people to exchange my French to my Spanish. And some people ask me to switch on the camera because it's easier for them to understand me. They can read on my lips. Yes, they can read on my lips.
Yeah, there is the lip thing.
There is a facial expression. And it plays
and you can point at things as well and use your body language, your hands.
Exactly.
Indeed, yes. And it will be concentrate. That's it. You are not doing anything while we are speaking, so they are watching you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, go away.
It's true.
The downside is that you can tell if somebody's gone to make a cup of tea.
Exactly. No, exactly. And you don't want to see the decorum around what you are doing, or if you just have
if you haven't cleared up, you haven't done the washing up.
That's it. But it is useful most of the time.
I think for pronunciation, I do admit, because it would be much easier for me to say to somebody, your tongue goes just in front of your teeth. Just touch the front of your teeth with your tongue, and it'd be much easier. But then, who wants to see that, really?
Okay, so no camera in
Who
it.
wants to record that? It's not likely. It's not likely that I'll be switching on a webcam. I haven't even got a webcam on my computer. It doesn't even exist. So it's not likely that we will be doing that anytime soon.
Okay.
So that I hope will address the
The
how to
cam.
know if something is streaming. There should be, now we are a linked account, we should be able to get a streaming link that will always take people if they want to, if there's a session. And the other thing is to put it onto the actual registration link into the calendar. Aladdin, this would impact you. So what do you think of that idea, to have the registration link in the calendar?
Yes, it's a good one.
Okay, good.
To have people
Because if you didn't
directly
want
without-
it, I
that's
wouldn't do it for your
Yeah.
sessions. I'd still make it, they've got to be. It does mean we might get more people coming in who have no idea what we do, but because we've got control about who can come in and be uber disruptive, if somebody's texting inappropriately, it's very easy to chuck them out. And if they want to ask questions, it's very easy to say, okay, I'll ask any questions at the end, or give them a link to the forum to say, ask any questions about that kind of thing there. Okay. Anything that's off topic, for example. So I will do that then. Okay. Zom, you said we're not streamed shiny right now, or are we? Okay. Let me explain what works in this way. To YouTube, what's being streamed is what you see in the main screen. Okay.
Oh, so we are.
You are now, but in the main screen where you see my avatar and Aladdin's avatar. Sorry, I didn't have time to change your avatar. I'll do it for Monday, okay, Aladdin. So where you see my avatar, Aladdin's avatar, and your little head, that's being streamed to YouTube, okay?
Okay.
The chat window to side is not being streamed to YouTube.
All right. Okay.
It is being recorded into what they call a CSV file. So if at some point I wanted to, or if you want to check what was said, when, where, why, I can basically get a copy of that, okay, and send it to you or check it, whatever, if you were a participant.
Then I have a question.
One moment. What does appear when the chat does appear is what we call the replay. Now, the replay is the one where you click the link in your invitation. Not every session has a replay, okay? But if you get a link in your invitation with a replay in it, or if you come in and it says this session has ended and it offers you a replay button, that replay goes to Webinar Jam's servers, not YouTube's, and it puts together the chat and the video and the screen sharing or whatever we've been doing, okay? So yes, then you would see the text chat as if it was happening, as it happens during the session. Actually, it's quite cool. It's all sort of in sync with the session. So I think it's magic. Okay, it's magic. They're wizards at Webinar Jam. They have wizards working there, you know.
Excellent.
Okay, so does that answer that?
Yeah, it answers my question. Thanks.
Okay. Any disadvantages of streaming, Zom asked? Well, you tell me. I know there are. I'm pretty certain of what you're going to say, but what do you think the disadvantages are?
Well, I think personally, the problem is that you can start because you forget about the streaming things when you are into it. And sometimes when it's formal questions, like the reading, listening, discussion, it's okay. But it's when it's more informal sessions, people a little bit let go about themselves. And it's a little bit awkward to afterwards when you realize that actually it's in the open streaming live on the internet. It makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable with
okay, well, let me put your fears at rest. As you say, most of the sessions that we stream and that go public on YouTube are structured. Question, answer, here's a text to read, here's some corrections, here's feedback, etc. In the Thursday session on Kitely, yes, we stream. Okay, or I stream, I should say. And it does not. Now, somebody like Khalid, and Khalid does come along and can watch. So you might be being watched. Okay. But that's generally only people. I won't be putting the YouTube live streaming link into the calendar, by the way. I will only share that with people in the forum in the groups. Okay. But if, for example, they're watching it now, when it stops streaming, it's basically not public. Okay. And as soon as it's finished processing on YouTube, or maybe the next day, especially for Kitely sessions, it's basically going to be made private, which means nobody can watch it but me and an admin like Aladdin. Okay. And if you do say something that you regret, you just contact me on the forum. I will edit it and cut it, because it doesn't get put onto Kitely as a replay. There's no replay in Webinar Jam for the Kitely sessions, for example.
All right.
And if there was like TGIF, if that were to happen and somebody said their home address or their phone number, I will go in and I will edit it. I have done it. I accidentally shared somebody's email. I went in and I blurred out that part of the screen. And if you were to say something and you just regretted it later, you just ask me, I will delete it. Okay. I will not delete the whole thing, but I can edit it and cut parts out. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. So don't panic. Don't panic. Yes, you are streaming live. Yes, somebody might be watching live, but it won't go public. And if something disastrous were to happen, that, you know, you're horrified about, there was one point where Shiny started undressing in Kitely. That is only her avatar, but I did go in and blurred her. I just blurred her out. And I did say, okay, if you want to change whilst you're in the session, go to another room, go to another area and do it. Don't do it whilst I'm streaming live. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. No problem with that. It's but we have to be aware of it, because we tend to not to realize the consequences that.
I think that's the same as anything you do on the internet.
True.
Because to be honest, I'm streaming this, but I can assure you that I know for a fact other people have been recording these sessions for a long time. Now, I'm not saying they've put them on the internet, but they have been recording them. So it's a bit naughty. You should always tell people something's going to be recorded, and it is polite to say to them, right, we're going to start recording. I'm trying to remember to do that. I mean, with Webinar Jam, as soon as the thing starts, we're streaming, but if you ask to join the session, then you know that's what's going to happen, kind of thing. Now, in the other sessions in Skype, etc., I know people have recorded them for a long time, maybe for their own personal use. I don't know, but I've always said to people, let other people know if you're doing that, but I can't control it. I can't stop people from doing that. So if you're on the internet, just be aware in whatever form you're doing it.
We have become public, so we are public stars now.
Well, let's come to your next question. You've accepted to become public, haven't you? A star in the open. No. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm a tiny little niche of the internet, doing a nice job, I think. I think it's a nice job, but I don't want to be a star. Once you put your head, no, it'd be awful. Because people would just then, you get the E and J, yes? You often call it E and J, don't you? And then people start coming for the wrong reasons, and you know, they're just there because you're famous. No. It's happened to a few YouTube people, and you look at this. It's one reason I don't allow. I do allow comments on YouTube, by the way. You can comment on YouTube, but they won't go public until I've looked at it. I don't. Okay. No, you can comment, but it won't go public until I get a notification that it's there, and then I've got time to go and look at it, and then I will answer. But it won't go public. It's fully moderated.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, fully moderated. Have you seen some of the comments on YouTube? It's moderated. Okay. And I don't allow likes or dislikes. Okay. The reason for that is there are people out there, and I know they're there, and they will dislike everything I do. Okay. Everything. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if I was to save the world, they would dislike it. Okay. So I don't allow that, because that's just the E and J coming up again.
Okay, so the comments are not
But we have to allow everything, Glenn.
Oh,
you don't want to hear the other opinion.
It's just I know that it's not an opinion. They haven't even watched the video, Aladdin. It's just automatic dislike.
It exists on everywhere.
I know. Okay, Aladdin, I'll do a deal with you then. You know your sessions. I'll allow unmoderated likes and dislikes. Okay.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, really?
Oh boy, not the Saturday
Yeah.
ones.
Okay, then
Some people
you
thought
will have to moderate
it's
it. Okay,
downloading.
you'll have to.
Some people had this button. They thought it's downloading the video.
Really?
I heard something like that before, because it's not. It looks like a downloading, and they don't know what is that mean. What does this button mean? And they click on it, so it might be it will give them the link or to download the video. I'm just a
Oh,
joke. I might be a joke, but I heard something like that.
Oh, bless. Oh, bless them. Well, you see, it is, the thumbs up and the thumbs down doesn't necessarily have that much meaning in every culture.
Yeah.
So, it's something we've come to understand. If you're on Facebook, most people know what it means. But I've never liked the thumbs down personally. I'm like, well, if you don't like it, go away. Why do you have
Yes,
to let
that's
people
it.
know that you don't
Why
like
I have to watch it if I
dog
don't
or
like it?
exactly. Leave,
well,
But
it's
no,
because
well, Aladdin, if you want me to enable, but you will have to closely moderate the comments. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But I
you
will
don't have
enable
enough
it.
time. Aladdin, you will never
Yeah.
have enough time for that.
There are
I
not
have
that
enough
many
time
people
to do
watch us.
everything.
It's all right, Som. There's not that
But I
many
will let
people
them.
watch.
Why I have to moderate them?
That's it.
It's
I was
exists
sure I
on.
was not going to moderate them.
It's removing.
Freedom.
Well, in
Yeah,
some ways, I
freedom.
have to moderate, but most people, when they realise that the comment's not going to go live, the ones who like to go first, have you seen them? They'll go to any video and they'll
Yeah.
type first because they want to be the first to comment.
Oh.
Get a life.
No, come on. It's what we did with Shiny. She was number one, I was number two.
I repeat, get a life.
I will never come back.
Okay, let's see if we got any other questions I haven't answered. Shiny wrote, "What choice?" Now, that might be out of context. Was that when I was saying it gives members a choice?
Yes, gives the member
Okay,
choice between.
I answered that
Yeah.
for you, Shiny. Are you clear about that? Yeah, you've got the choice to join us, to come and talk with us, to just lurk watching this live stream, or to watch the recording. None of those choices were available before. You had to come, join, and join. And by the way, the other thing I like about Webinar Jam, I put up a register button. Then it's up to you. You don't have to say, "Can you add me to the room?" Can you move me out of the room? Can you add me to
that's so
another
good.
room? Skype's been driving me crazy.
This is very good. The register button is awesome, and we know when the session will start exactly regarding our own time zone. This is awesome.
Okay, well, I just want to remember, you always have to mark your questions as questions. Does it mean we're very close because you saw me naked? You weren't naked. Luckily, you did have underwear on, okay? Because the second time it happened, I didn't blur it because I thought, okay, she knows what she's doing. She's okay with it. And as I said to you, it's only like wearing a bikini. But if you do something like that in a session on Kitely, I've lost all my clothes once. All of them in a meeting. By mistake, I tried to open a note card, and by mistake, I dragged the note card onto my avatar, and it stripped me. Boff! All my clothes gone. And I was stood there, completely naked. Now, if that had been streaming, okay, it's only pixels, but they're my pixels. I would have blurred them. So, again, if that kind of thing were to happen during a thing, don't worry. Just let me know. I will blur it out. You can even do it now, actually, Aladdin. Under enhancements, blurring, you can do it without having to reload the video up, because sometimes if you have to change anything on a video, you then have to delete that video and re-upload it. But the blurrings thing you can do, and it will automatically blur faces as well, which is it's really clever stuff.
Detecting faces, yes.
Yeah, face detection. It's like you know the program, don't you? Person of interest.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Now, Aladdin, you've put, what are we streaming? What did you mean? What are we streaming?
Which means Kitely here, we're streaming Kitely Skype sessions, except
I've got you. Got you. Okay. I
what
thought
we are
when you're here-
streaming.
So the
Which
types of
sessions
streaming.
that we are streaming and which session is not.
Yeah.
So- Okay, go ahead.
Rule of thumb is all webinar jam sessions stream by default. All Kindly sessions stream when I remember to click the button. And
It's a streaming, but a Kitely session is streaming via
OBS.
Webinar Jam or
No.
OBS.
YouTube
Kill my
Live.
computer.
The
It's
open
called.
Yes.
Let me give you the software if you're interested, because I love them. Open Broadcaster software. Okay, it works. You have to do a bit of tweaking. We were talking about this last night, Zom. You have to do a bit of tweaking to set things up. But once you've got it set up and linked to your YouTube or Twitch account, it works like a dream. And they are constantly developing it for live streaming and video recording as well, for recording your... you don't have to stream it, but it can record your desktop, etc. It's I love these guys. I really do. And yeah. So that's what I use for Kitely. And what I do is I set up Kitely. And what I've started to do now is when people come, I'm not streaming. And then I will say, has anybody got anything they'd like to ask before I start streaming? And then once we start the session, I go, right, I'm starting streaming. And I just literally click a button. And as long as I've not made any changes to my computer setup, it just takes my main monitor, whatever's on there, and streams it merrily into YouTube until I remember to switch it off or not. In which case it streams my desktop for an hour and a half. So you do have to remember to switch it on and switch it off. Yeah. It's not like Webinar Jam; it'll start as soon as Kitely starts. It doesn't work.
That's
like
what you did with Marian's session.
Right, that's Marian's session is new, and it's during my daytime, and I happen to have an hour and a bit free, and I just wanted to see, okay, what if? Now, if you look at the video, you will see that I had to do a lot of blurring because I suddenly realised, yeah, that was a bit stupid of me. I was streaming the whole of the Skype page, and that shows nicely how blur works. And then what I did was I removed that from my main screen and I put up a notepad, just a
and you
simple
was correcting us, right?
I was just basically writing down things I thought were interesting and any of the explanations. I did do one correction for you, Aladdin, because it was like, oops, you don't want to say that like that. But, you know, it is Marian's session. So I was just there kind of really testing it out, seeing how it would work in the future, maybe. And if it was kind of worth doing, if at some point we had to go back to Skype, I don't know, but, you know, if we ran out of money and we had to go back to Skype, fine, we'd have to. Could we do something? Now, there's another streamed session went up yesterday, just a very short 24-minute, 25-minute absolute basics. And if you want to hear me doing animal impersonations, do watch it. I'm not joking. But what I did there was I tested streaming Google Presentation. Okay, now if you are interested in doing any kind of presentation which requires interaction from an audience, I would recommend you watch that and see how that works, because with Google Presentations now, you can have a live question and answer session within the presentation. It's wonderful. It's really fab. Love it. And so I tested that yesterday. Unfortunately, the people who came, there was 3 or 4 people turned up, but they weren't nobody actually said hello. It was very strange. And nobody asked a question. So I presume I was so good at explaining everything. They understood everything.
Well, I doubt that. But
Or they were just there to think, what's this about? There was a moment when I had to disappear for 30 seconds because Leica had found one of her toys and was squeaking it. All right, just have a look at the screen for a moment. Whilst I kicked the dog out of the room. That was quite funny. But yeah, the OBS one, Aladdin, if you want to do some, you know, any sessions of on Kitely or on anything at all on your own, in Skype, anything. It does work. But be careful what you share as well, because as I say, I made a bit of a boo-boo there. Although you've done that before, because you contacted me and said, Lynn, can you make this private?
Yeah.
So in the end, everything goes into a YouTube channel. And so YouTube monitors as well what you are, the video.
Oh boy, do they.
Yeah,
there is a video out there that happened whilst I was on holiday, and it got a copyright claim against it. And I still haven't found the bit which is the copyright claim, but I will track it down.
it gave you the minutes. Does
it? Oh, hang on.
If you click on it, it will take you directly some kind of music, part of music, sound, maybe the sound of some famous
Well,
actor.
the thing is, it can be playing in the background. If you're actually part of the audience, it's okay, because nothing you say can be heard or seen. But if you become a presenter, if you become a participant, then even if you've got your telly on in the background and it plays some music, YouTube will pick it up. It's automated software, and it will put a strike against you. And if you happen to share a whole YouTube video, you might get into real trouble.
You can cut this part. Yeah, you can cut it.
You can, yeah, but you've got to no. If you get a strike where it's been blocked worldwide, you can do nothing. The only thing you can do is delete it. Yes. You can't even download your own video then, and it's such a shame, because it's got one of the best bits of bad pronunciation. No, not bad. No, that's wrong. Dangerous pronunciation ever. And it's Aladdin, and I wish I might just go in there one day and just record that bit and play it back to you. I'll send it to you. Aladdin, it's so funny. Okay. We were all going, no, you can't say that. It was the one with the video from Space Odyssey, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I just shared what's on YouTube. It's on YouTube, and I just shared it, and I got a strike. Even though it's somebody else's film that somebody else has put as a clip on YouTube that nobody has removed, so I presumed it was okay to use it, and I got a big black red mark against my name for that one. My own fault. Shouldn't have done it. But yeah, even playing music in the background can get your video banned.
That's a dangerous word.
It's a bit mean-spirited, I would say. Just mean-spirited. I mean, everybody wants to make money. I can understand that, but just being so obsessed with it to the point of spoiling other people's fun, I think is a bit mean.
Well, you have to be. What I don't like about that is that it makes it difficult for people who are already a little bit wary to get involved, to be encouraged to get involved. So in the end, it will discourage people to be creative and.
That's the bit. Yeah, that's the creative bit. They're happy for people to consume. Yeah,
that's it.
But they don't seem to want to encourage people to create. And I understand copyright. I agree with copyright, because if we want people to create, they need to be able to create and to live. To eat. However, when it becomes this driving force behind everything, a 2-second clip, you can't use that kind of thing, then I think they've gone too far. That's my silence. Did you hear about the one where they copyrighted a bit of silence?
No.
Yeah, there was a copyright claim for silence.
Really?
You are joking.
Yes. I'm not joking. I never joke about such things. Okay, I will Okay. DJ claims completely silent track was removed by SoundCloud. Okay, for copyright infringement.
SoundCloud.
Yep. SoundCloud removes silence for copyright infringement. Yeah. Can silence be copyrighted? Okay.
Oh boy.
Now there's some people who are saying they didn't, and they did, but I can give you the YouTube. Not the YouTube, sorry, the BBC Music link. The silent music dispute resolved. Musician Mike Batt paid a 6-figure sum to settle a bizarre dispute over who owns copyright to a silent musical work. Okay. And I'll give you the link. It's fascinating, and how things can go too far. Okay, so let's have a look. Are you going to stream everything from LEN channel on YouTube?
Which
Okay.
mean we are using these channels for all videos, English radio, and everything on Learning English Network channel on YouTube.
Pretty much, yes. I mean, to be honest, I could change it around, but at the moment, if you want to change it, you have to delete everything
I
because you
mean,
get APIs
yeah,
and stuff.
I
So I
mean
can't.
that
I mean, am I going to use
the
Twitch?
English
No.
radio channel it's exists now, but we can
Yeah.
put a link for example, for a playlist for English radio and
Okay.
put English
Let me
radio on
explain.
it.
I'm not going to swap between Learn English Network channel and English Radio channel because you have to do this code and API and stuff permission for the software to stream. Okay, so everything I do
Okay.
will go to the LEN channel. However, Aladdin, if you want to
Yes.
stream your sessions to English Radio channel, I'm absolutely fine with that. No problem. Or
No, I mean after editing because
okay,
because
then
I
when
finished
you've edited
editing
it,
video
you
on
decide where you want it to go.
about this Nintendo Switch with Marco and Zom. I finished it, so what I'm going to do, upload it on Learning English
Wherever
Network
you want
channel, or which you prefer? That's what I'm asking you.
Which do you want
But we
to
are
do? Where
going
do you
to
want it to be?
concentrate.
I know that you're, but no, I know that you like the English Radio YouTube channel to take over English Radio if English Radio
No,
is closed down
it-
by Radionomy.
but
Yeah?
but Learning English Network have a more subscribes than English Radio, so we can
That's
close
you can
English
put
Radio
it
and focusing on this one.
if you've got time. Put it to both if you want to. We can have a race.
Competition.
It's not a
Okay, no, I
competition.
don't know if
We
I'm
need to
happy
be
with that.
concentrated to people find everything.
Yeah. Okay. Then
Because
what we could
you want to
do.
reach the maximum.
Rarely, yes.
Well,
Maximum.
this I have been looking into YouTube and how it's set up, as you know, Aladdin. So I've now set it up as a brand account, whatever that means,
Yeah.
and it does give us the opportunity to make things more. To actually set it up slightly differently. Now, I haven't done it yet. It's still just playlists and the channel. But when you've got a brand account and it's been approved, which ours has now, you can now set up like little sections almost, like it comes almost like a little website. So we could do it that English Radio has got its own section on LEN. Or you can just decide, well, I want to build up LEN Radio, English Radio, I should say, as a separate thing, and therefore just put the stuff in there. Maybe have the raw files in LEN and the ones that you've changed and edited and made a bit zhuzhier, put them into English Radio. I don't personally have a preference because I'm not doing this for viewers or figures or, unless suddenly we get sponsors, maybe that would be nice. That's the only thing that would make me get excited. Yes! Yeah! But other than
So
that,
concentrate about Alien channel, yes? That's good.
Alien,
be good.
Alien, not Alien.
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 We're going to have to
It's
start
from
an Alien network, aren't we?
Yeah, we have to start it.
Okay, so everything under the Alien
no.
channel. All right.
You know
okay.
what was funny? Hubby's home, by the way. He's back from America. And
Oh.
what was
Welcome back.
yeah.
So you've got the
Thank
flyer.
Oh, you can clear my cash for me. Anyway. No, it was really funny. He came and he went, I saw the film. I went, what film? And he went, what's the one you recommended, Aladdin? What's it called again? Not the Alien film, the
Arrival.
Arrival. Yeah, you
Arrival.
saw it on the plane.
You watch it?
Yeah, he watched it on the plane. It was shown on the plane.
Yeah.
So now he's seen it and I haven't. Yeah, I feel I know everything about it because there were so many spoiler alerts
Yeah,
in that
spoiler.
section.
It was everything is spoiler in these sessions. But it wasn't me. I am keen about not spoilering things. But she bring articles. It's totally spoiler.
Yep.
But you had already watched
plan
it?
Marianne and this one.
You
I
had
watched
already
it.
watched it? No?
Yes,
oh, okay.
I
that's-
already watched it. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, it's
I have
fine.
also put some kind of review on it on the forum.
All
yeah.
right. Okay.
It looks good though. I think I'll enjoy it. I'll watch it anyway, even though I know pretty much now what happens, but I'll watch it anyway. Okay, so does that answer your question, Aladdin? Where to stream everything? Yeah. I mean, as I say,
let's try with Learning English Network channel.
Okay, I'll see if I can. Yeah. I'll see if I can get an alien channel up. I'll go LEN channel, and maybe see if we can make it look more like one of those professional channels that you can get out there, and you always look at them and think, oh, that's lovely, and I'm like, how did they do that? I now know they're branded channels, so even though I tried to do it, it would never have worked. We could do it and maybe have a part of it for LEN radio, for English radio, and the rest for the LEN channel, because Learn English Network is sponsoring English radio. It's not commercially linked to it, but it is sponsoring it, so what the heck. Okay.
So I got confused again. What I'm supposed to do?
Put everything under the alien channel.
Okay, to start with.
I finished the video, but I'm supposed to uploading. Which channel I will upload it at?
Okay, whichever one you want to. But if you want
Don't give me a choice. Because when I say, okay,
you are now a moderator. You are a moderator. You do what you want. No, if you want to upload it to the LEN channel, I'm fine with that. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll set up a playlist for English radio.
I think I can.
Okay, then you can set up a playlist, and I'm looking into how you can set up YouTube branded things to look more sort of segmented, more this is a lesson, this is a session, this is from Kitely, this is from and I'll look into setting it up to look a little bit more professional, because at the moment it is a bit of a mess, to be honest. But then it started in 2003 or something, and it was mostly just for sharing YouTube videos that I thought were good, and now we're kind of creating our own. Some of them are on my Lin Han channel and my personal channel, and some of them are in the LEN channel, and oh god, it's all over the place. So I'll try and sort things out so they look a bit more, and maybe we should do a little intro, an intro video for the channel, so people know what they're getting into before they actually start watching stuff. You're not going to get 5-minute clips here, guys. Sit down, get yourself a cup of tea, and we'll let you go in an hour and a half.
That's a good thing. An introductory video about what you can expect.
I think it's necessary now.
This is an excellent idea. If you've got time to do that, it's a great idea.
Well, time, yes, but
time is an issue. Yeah, right.
It's always an issue, always. Okay, so any other questions before we finish up? Anything you need to say, Aladdin? Sorry, it was more like a presentation again. I'll try to get less presenty, but we've got so much I want people to know that I actually put it into a structure kind of thing, because there was a lot to cover.
No, a presentation is great, actually. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Keep going with the presentation for some time, because we lack information sometimes, and we don't know exactly what kind of question to ask, because we are a little bit lost, to be honest, when it comes to this. You are in advance using technology and stuff around that we don't know much about. So it's good doing way in the presentation style. There is a lot of information, and this makes it valuable to watch it again, to go back to a thing we are not sure exactly what you were talking about. So I would keep with the presenting style, honestly, for these spotlight sessions for some time anyway.
Okay, and Shiny agrees. Good, we have consensus. Excellent. Well, look, if there's no more questions and everybody's happy, then yes, I have to go now too, Aladdin. So I will love you and leave you. And thanks so much for coming and taking part and asking your questions and participating and getting involved. And Shiny, I hope your croaky voice gets better. Go and have some honey, lemon and whiskey. If you're allowed. Take care.
Thank you, Len, for talking about streaming, and Thank you, everyone.
Thank
for
you,
coming,
Aladdin,
yes.
for co-hosting and being here to give me more ideas as well, and to question what I do and how I'm doing it. It's just great. I need that. I really do. And we do need to just talk about what might we talk about next time.
Yeah,
Okay.
to record it. You have a note.
So, no,
You use Google Notes. You are
using Google Notes, yeah?
Yes.
Using
And
Google
Google
Notes.
Notes. is good.
Google Docs, you mean? Yeah.
Google. What we call it? Wait a second. It's called Keep. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
What's that? Keep. Okay.
Yeah,
Google
I haven't
Keep.
really.
It's good.
Google keeps asking me, "Would you like to keep this?" And I haven't actually used it yet. So I will make you the driving force behind that one then. Okay. So that will be your baby, Aladdin, using Google Docs Keep.
Yeah.
And maybe we could add. I could add a little bit in case it's not for an hour. I'll do Google presentation if there's time. Okay.
Okay, so we will be on Google, a few Google features next time.
But yeah, Google features. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's a good way of
It's a good
putting
idea.
it.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Aladdin?
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Remember, it's always changeable because last month for this month I put Football League spelling bee.
Football League. Yes. It was Football League.
But Marco didn't come back to me on it, and nobody from ESC volunteered, and the spelling bee nobody volunteered. So I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll just do something else. We're always
I was
flexible.
offering Google Keep to put your notes on it. It's not for presentation, but it's good.
Oh, I thought
Anyway.
taken.
I said put it on Google Note or Google Keep. Yeah.
Okay, well, look, we'll make it anyway that next week because I am using Google more for stuff. I mean, I use it during sessions now as well, and just have people able to ask questions in there. So we can do that as next week's feature anyway, using Google features. And you can maybe Aladdin, if you do your next session that you do about technology.
Yeah,
you could do a presentation on Google Keep because I don't actually use it.
And I will compare between three things that we're starting talking about it with Shyness and with Shine and April. So I promise them I will put a comparing between Google Keep and Wonderlist and other stuff like that. What is the difference between them? Yeah.
Never heard of them, but I would say keeps popping up in my Google thing. Would you like to keep this? No, not really. Thank you. I'm always a bit wary about Google's offerings though, because Google give us and Google take us away. They do. They just suddenly disappear and I lose everything. Google Wave, Google Friend Connect. Yeah, all dead. Rest in peace. But anyway, no, that would be good. Let me know when you're doing that as a thing. And then, as I say, we can use Zom's idea about using Google features in our sessions, etc., and how we integrate it. That's a great idea. Okay? Okay. Take care. See you maybe later. If not, see you in another session. Bye. Bye. Thanks for coming. Bye.